Greetings, fellow noobs, and welcome to a NuubCast Procast between LiquidHuk and mTwDIMAGA, fresh off of the Team Liquid Weekly Replay Pack. This is, as soon as I saw this replay, I was like, oh man, I have to watch this, I have to see this. Haven't seen it yet. This is going to be a cold cast. LiquidHuk, currently ranked number 4 in the world. Dimaga, currently ranked number 5 in the world. Should be a very exciting game on Metalopolis in cross positions. Probably the most balanced ZVP you could hope for. Lots of good, friendly conversation going on. mTW is Mortal Teamwork. It's the name of Dimaga's squad, and as you know, Huck is a member of Team Liquid, and with 4 of his cohorts going to be competing in GSL 5 in March. Cannot wait for this to happen. Just salivating, even just thinking about it, and going to see pretty normal openers, I'm certain, from these players, as they will be seeking one another's demise. Well, at least in StarCraft terms, that is. We have single gas down for Dimaga and the spawning pool on the way. Nothing yet for Huck other than this pylon. Is he getting the forge first? Nope, gonna go gateway. So he's not gonna do, I'm guessing he's not gonna forge fast expand. Gateway, and having seen the spawning pool up already and no fast expansion from Dimaga, Huck allows that wisely to dictate what he's going to do. I suppose had Dimaga dropped that fast hatchery here at 15 or 14, we would have seen Huck drop that forge. That's why he was waiting so long. Really bold play, I think, from Huck, waiting so long to determine and reactively determining his own play path based on what the Zerg player is going to do. And it's only, what does he hate? What did he hurt? Huck's probe. Huck's probe harass is probably some of the best in the game. He is just renowned for being able to do it. We do have the first 4 Zerglings out. They are going to be scouting, looking for Huck's base. And Dimaga getting the queen out finally. And let's look at, I guess Huck's didn't get too much harass down on these guys, unless the one that he got out went to the hatchery or is dead. Sorry for missing that. Metabolic boost, 3/4 of the way done. Second queen, 1/4 of the way done. And the hatchery, 1/4 of the way done, as we look at a, that looks like a second gateway down for Huck. Dimaga, having finally found his base, now knows where to send the rest of his units when they come out, when he decides to advance and to put pressure on Huck. Looks like we have a pylon going down outside of Huck's base. Looks like he is at least assuming there's a hatchery down for Dimaga, maybe looking to build out a little wall here, as is common among Protoss players, to get this expansion. But we do have a lot of Zerglings coming down here for Dimaga, going to be joining their cohorts and heading, trying to bust the ramp. I doubt it. Maybe, particularly not with these sentries here. One Zergling coming in to harass, getting these units out away from the ramp, and here comes the run by. Is he going to get? No. Huck with great force fields, but not getting a full surround on his players. Very nice placement of the pylon for Huck. And here comes another sentry, 2 sentries now, able to keep the Zerglings out of his base, but he's going to lose this pylon, no doubt. Warp Tech finished, 3 gates ready to go, and but it looks like Huck is, nope, gets another force field out, blocking out these other Zerglings as well. Look, not even going to lose one of those sentries. Very nice work. Very good defense by Huk, as we all well know. He is more than capable of holding off early link pressure, and probably I don't think I've seen anyone with better force field usage than Huk, as we see now. 6 sentries out here, doing okay energy-wise. I think only 1 is up above 2 up above 50, 3 near 100. All right, so he's got a few force fields ready to deploy here. Dimaga now popping out 6 roaches and a few more lings. Once Huk sees that, I guarantee you he is not going to want to stick around. These sentries just get creamed by roaches, and with the queen and lings as backup, he's not going to... Yeah, see, he gets just a peek, and he is out of dodge, not even going to stick around. And not a bad idea. It's good to press for Protoss. He makes the Zerg player make units, and anytime the Zerg player makes units, he is not making drones, and therefore is not getting the superior economic position that he needs to be effective in this game. Now, obviously, Dimaga already has a fully saturated expansion, and Huk is just now getting his super saturated here. If we look at the income tab, it was just a moment ago that Huk's income got close to, I should say, Dimaga. Huk is still behind by 4 harvesters, but he is getting close. But now Dimaga, assuming that was the case, probably that Huk was expanding, having seen the pylons come out earlier, getting his 3rd base now, trying to keep that economic edge, as slight as it is right now, seeing hallucination being researched by Huk, as well as glial reconstitution, the roach speed and burrow for the roaches. No doubt going to see tunneling claws sooner than later. That gives the roaches, if there is a counter, quote unquote, to force field for Zerg player, it is burrow. When the... As we see the hallucinated phoenixes pop out, when the sentries block out units with their force fields, the Zerg player can burrow, and then those trapped units, not only do they not get killed, but they actually get healed as they are burrowed underground. Now, Huk going to see the 3rd base sprouted and getting saturated by Dimaga, sending over a few probes, all kinds of roaches here now for Dimaga, and the queen takes out that hallucination very quickly, and the second one going to sit outside this base, seeing full well all of Dimaga's roaches. Now we have what is a 3rd queen? 3rd queen? No, yep, 3rd queen creeping out. Pooping out creep tumors. Pooping out creep tumors. Pooping out, creeping out poop tumors. That's what I was about to say. And we do have a burrowed Zergling over here, keeping Huk from getting his 3rd. Denied. Very frustrating. And now is going to force Huk into Observer. I mean, not that he didn't want to have them anyway, but now we have the Robotics Bay out, ready for Colossus production, and that observer is obviously needed to visualize those burrowed units. Not any anti-air thus far, apart from the queens by Dimaga. We do have Spire about to finish, and we do have several... we have a Hydraless Den out. Excellent, but no Hydras as of yet. Making his first 8 right now. 36 roaches on the field currently. An overseer, I'm sorry, out, dropping a changeling. Is he even going to get nearby in time? No, the stalker is going to kill that one. Oh, you know what? I recently did a Stargirl cast, and I always turn off the gore for her. And I forgot to turn it back on. Hopefully it's not too distracting. Maybe you haven't even noticed until that moment, until I talked about it. Carapace level 1, missile attacks level 2, down, thermal lance almost finished, level 1 armor for Huck. It looks like these stalkers just coming in here trying to kill some creep tumors, with the observer getting vision here, but getting chased away by this roach and hydra force. More roaches and hydras over here. 4th base down for Dimaga. Colossus coming out. Finally, Huck got the 3rd base down, able to get rid of that burrowed Ling. And I'm thinking that things are about to get a little fun in this game. We're about 15 minutes in at this point. Up to this point, both players succeeding in getting their macro games up and running. Huck now has a 7 harvester lead over Dimaga, but still not caught up completely on income, though gas is about even. Interesting. I'm not sure how the stalker or the probe got to where they are, but now going to get chased into this base. These roaches running around looking for whatever buildings Huck might have up here, thinking that he may have done something sneaky, but and I was thinking that perhaps Huck would be moving down here to cut those forces off, but not the case. And now you see the corruptors out for Dimaga. Blink getting researched, as well as level 2 ground weapons for Huck. We have level 2 missile attacks and more corruptors being produced from these hatcheries to deal with the Colossus. However, there is, as we speak, only 3 Colossus, and you can be sure that this, for 3 Colossus, is a serious overcommitment. Just a bit of an overreaction to those Colossus, because once the Colossus go down, which obviously with this many corruptors is going to be fairly quickly, the rest of Huck's ground forces are going to be able to do a lot of damage to this ground army, because there is not there's so much food wrapped up in these corruptors. And here's the now we do have 5 Colossus, so these corruptors are going to take them down fairly quickly. Oh wow, excellent use of hallucination by Huck, drawing some fire from these corruptors, but the actual real ones are going down. And now that Huck is focusing on the ground army, he can just ignore these corruptors because they can't do anything to him. And now with the use of force field, just wrecking this ground army, and Dimaga forced to pull out because of this serious overcommitment of corruptors. It's until those are killed, it's just going to be more of the same for Huck, because they cannot really help in a ground battle. And there's 18 corruptors, and each one costs, I don't even know how many food a corruptor costs, but we are going to see this ground army once again. The Colossus goes down quickly, but it's almost like, who cares? The ground army is so superior, and if we get a good blink up, Huck can get, there you go, get a better surround on these ground units, because once again, these corruptors can do absolutely nothing to this huge ground army. And again, good blink by the stalkers to protect these immortals that can't do that much damage to these hydras. And even though stalkers are not great against the hydralisks, they do have numbers and are able to take their advantage. But here comes more Lings and hydras from Dimaga, which is basically the real counters to this immortal and stalker army. Lings just decimate immortals, and stalkers, being armored again, take more damage, do less damage to hydras, and take more damage from them. and the range is just sick. Very good blink micro from Huk, losing as few of these stalkers as he can, but does have to pull back, as does Dimaga, to reinforce and recollect themselves. This 5th base now, as Huk is saturated here and here, still has quite a bit of minerals at the natural, completely mined out, but for 2 little spots here at the main. But again, if Huk just ignores these corruptors, if he just ignores them, then it will be in his favor to do so, because as long as he ignores those, I'm trying to find out how much food is corruptors. It's at least 2 food, right? I mean, it's got to be at least 2 food. So let's see. Yep, 2 food for a corruptor. So we're looking at 36 food here that Dimaga cannot use in his army, which is continually, as long as Huk ignores those corruptors and continues to go ground against this Hydra Roach army, and once again does not focus down those corruptors, he's going to have a succinct advantage just in food and being able to control this the ground game here. But obviously, with that many Hydralisks, finally Dimaga making some use out of those corruptors, getting corruption down on the stalkers. They do take 20% more damage, but he is going to lose this 5th base at the high yield. Hydra's just so strong in mass like this, completely just such a high DPS, able to do incredible amounts of damage. And here the Kydarian Amulet just finishes, and Huk warping in 7 High Templar, which are going to be incremental against this huge Hydra force. They just, the storms are so damaging to these Hydras, and they're just forced to walk through it. So much damage going to the Hydras, and now with these Zealots running in afterwards, corruption doesn't matter. That is gonna be just devastating to Dimaga's army. And there is the cry face from Dimaga, and here comes Huk now with several Archons forming from those now drained High Templar, and they're just going to come in here and do all sorts of damage. Actually, Huk is going to pull out. Curious if Dimaga can now recover. He doesn't seem as though, once again, with all of these corruptors, not able to muster the huge 200 food force that's going to be effective against these ground units. And with these storms, even more storms going down, so effective against Zerg units. And once immediately forming more Archons, I think this is going to have to do it for Dimaga. I do not see him being able to recover, although he did just lose most of the corruptors that were handicapping him throughout the game. Wow, what a match. Once the action started, it was non-stop. Hope you enjoyed it. That was freaking incredible. One of the best ZVPs I've seen in a while. Congratulations, Huk. If not for that Kydarian Amulet, you were probably dead. But perfect timing, as usual. Wow, what a treat. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget Huk and the GSL in March. Check them out on teamliquid.net. And keep climbing that ladder. Peace.